Most people don't realize the exact time their retirement savings are going to run out. I did the math, and that number changed everything about how I approach my retirement planning. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I found. Because here's what most people approaching retirement believe. They believe their retirement income plan is solid. The savings are there, maybe they've got some rentals, and income is coming in. Equity's building, and on paper, everything looks fine. But here's the question most folks never actually sit down and answer. What is the exact year your retirement savings are going to hit zero? Not a rough guess. The actual year. Mapped out income by income, expense by expense, and year by year. And most people never run that calculation because they believe the optimistic projection that it will be enough. But I ran that number, and what I found out was a wake-up call that changed my entire retirement income strategy. Folks, my name's Harry. I'm a grandpa and a pilot from the prairies in Canada, and I spent over 20 years building a real estate portfolio that was supposed to fund my retirement. I did everything the right way. I saved consistently. I built equity. I reinvested when I could. And then one day, back in August of 2022, I sat down and actually mapped out my retirement income. Not the optimistic version, the real version. I laid out every income source, CPP, rental cash flow, net of every expense, my RRSPs, my TFSAs. And then I mapped out my retirement expenses, all the fun trips and the flying adventures that I still wanted to do, year by year. And after all that calculation, what I found out was that the bulk of my retirement savings was going to run out before I even turned 80, leaving me to survive on some pensions and some RRSP drawdowns that were barely enough to pay for my property taxes and utilities, much less a nice dinner with me and my wife Shanna. And forget about those cool trips we planned to take the family on. All those memories gone before they even had a chance. And I sat there staring at that number for a long time. 20 years of entrepreneurship. And the math was telling me that I would outlive my own retirement income. And that was the moment that I stopped assuming my retirement plan was working. And I started building one that actually would. And that's exactly why I made this video today. And if this sounds like you too, you're not alone. And I want to speak directly to two types of people that are watching this video right now. The first type of person, hey, you're the careful planners. You're probably late 50s. You've been doing your retirement planning for years. You have savings. You have maybe some real estate investment equity. You have a plan. But something keeps nagging at you. There's a quiet voice in the back of your mind that says the retirement math doesn't quite add up. Now, if I were you, I would listen to that voice because it is worth heeding. Now, the second type is the person the numbers have already caught up on. Maybe you're touching on that retirement door right now. The career you've built over the last 20 or 30 years is down to the last year, or maybe a couple of months, or maybe you've already stepped back from your work. And now the retirement income is just not quite stretching the way you thought it would. An unexpected expense hits, a month of vacancy on one of your rentals, and all of a sudden, that retirement plan that you were counting on feels very fragile. And I want you to know that both of you are in the right place, and both of you are going to leave this video with a clear understanding of your retirement income strategy. So let me show you the income gap that most people never see coming. Because in Canada, where I am, your government retirement income doesn't arrive all at once. CPP, well, they start paying you a pittance at 60, a little bit more at 65. But honestly, the highest benefits don't come along unless you wait until you're 70 to start collecting. And old age security, well, that doesn't arrive till you're 65 either. That means if you retire at 60 or 62, you have a window of 3 to 5 years where your retirement savings are carrying the entire load. Every dollar of your retirement income comes from your own nest egg. Nothing else is coming in. And I call this the retirement income bridge. It's that gap between the day you stop working and the day all your government benefits arrive. And here's where most retirement income plans kind of quietly fall apart. The income sources that people are counting on during those bridge years are not as reliable as they look on paper. Rental cash flow, hey, it sounds passive, but after 20 years, I can assure you it definitely is not. There is nothing passive about replacing a furnace that dies in January. There's nothing passive about a vacancy eating 3 months of your retirement cash flow in a single quarter. There's nothing passive about managing properties during the years you had planned to be traveling and spending time with your grandkids. That's not retirement income. That's conditional income. That's a second job with no benefits and very unpredictable hours. And when that income is unreliable, your retirement savings are going to take the hit every single time. So let me walk you through a quick scenario here that I see over and over again. I'm going to call this guy Chuck. Chuck's 61, and he's been doing his retirement planning very carefully. He has a savings, he has equity in a couple of rental properties, and he has a plan. Now, his total retirement income from all sources during his bridge years looks like this. Net rental cash flow after all the expenses on his rental properties, about $1,900 a month. RRSP drawdown at a sustainable rate, another $1,200 a month. And that gives him a total of about $3,100 a month to live on. Here's the problem. Chuck needs $4,500 a month to retire the way he'd planned, with all the travel and all the adventures and the grandkids and the family that he wants to deal with. And that's a $1,400 monthly gap in his retirement income every single month for years. So what does Chuck do? He draws down his retirement savings faster than he wanted to cover the shortfall. And this is where the retirement math gets uncomfortable. Because when you're drawing down your retirement savings faster, that means you've got less principal compounding. And less compounding means that your retirement savings run out sooner. And running out sooner means Chuck arrives at 75 years old with a much smaller cushion than his retirement plan had planned on. And by the time a CPP and OAS arrives at 65, Chuck's already drawn his retirement savings down significantly. And here's another problem. That government retirement income only closes part of that gap. Now, Chuck didn't fail in his retirement planning. He built exactly what he was told to build. The problem is he was never shown that full retirement income picture, just some pieces of it. Now, does that sound familiar? Because that's exactly what I found when I ran my own retirement income numbers. My savings looked healthy. My income sources looked solid. My retirement plan looked great until I mapped it out year by year. And I saw the exact year that I was going to be out of real estate and my retirement savings would be maybe not hitting zero, but pretty darn close to it. And believe me, it was going to give me not the greatest 80th birthday present that I had planned on. I didn't panic, but I got very serious very fast. Because here's the truth about retirement planning that nobody tells you up front. A retirement income plan that runs out at 79 is not an income plan. It's a countdown. And I was not willing to count down. I had dreams, I had adventures, I had memory-making plans that I wanted to experience with my family. And I was willing to fix the problem before it came to a total meltdown. And that started with asking a completely different set of questions about my retirement income strategy. Now, if you're looking at what I've been sharing with you so far and it's giving you the shakes a bit, and you want to start looking at a way to fix this little problem like I did, here's what I want you to do. Go down into the description and grab your copy of my Freedom Formula Blueprint. The link's below, and it will show you the nuts and the bolts on how a digital business can help fill in these gaps and create reliable retirement income so you don't have to stress about it anymore. See, this is the layer that most retirement planning advice completely ignores. And it's the layer that changes the math the most dramatically for folks in our situation. What I'm talking about is a secondary retirement income stream that doesn't depend on a tenant, doesn't require a property manager, doesn't have vacancies, and doesn't call you at 11 o'clock at night. Let me ask you another question. How would it feel to get a $1,400 sale from a reliable secondary source? Would that change your entire retirement income picture a little bit? I'm talking about a proven digital system that fills the gap and protects your retirement savings from early drawdown. A system like that gives your equity time to work properly, the way you'd planned it originally. And it can be run from wherever you happen to be in the world, as long as you have a laptop or a cell phone and an internet connection. Now, that's what a retirement income strategy should look like. No one source carrying all the heavy lifting alone. And now that I've shared with you a bit of my story and what you should be watching for as your retirement comes closer, I just want you to know that for most of my life, I've been an entrepreneur. But as my 60s started coming up on me, I was not looking to build another business that required 60-hour weeks. And I definitely wasn't looking to learn a bunch of fancy new skills. I'd done all that already. I wasn't looking for more stress either. I'd done that too. I wanted an income stream that was predictable, something that worked whether I was at the grandkids' place on a Tuesday or building something in my shop, or finally taking that trip that Shannon and I kept putting off for far too long. And that's why I started following the Freedom Formula Blueprint. It's a proven income system designed specifically for folks approaching or into their retirement years who want reliable income without trading a bunch more hours for dollars to build it. Now, if any of what I'm sharing with you right now sounds familiar, I want you to hear this. You're not stuck in this trap forever. There's a better way to build income that doesn't require you to keep grinding at the expense of your retirement and the life that you actually want. And the Freedom Formula Blueprint will show you exactly how I'm building reliable retirement income right now in 2 hours a day from anywhere I choose to be in the world. And you can grab your copy by going down to the description and hitting the link there. It's completely free. It's about a 5-minute read, and it will let you see if a digital education program with master resale rights may be a good fit for you to build retirement income and skip those gaps and the stress of worrying if you're going to run your retirement income well dry. Because honestly, do I know for sure if this is for you? Really, I don't. But isn't it worth at least having a look? And if it's not for you, at least you can make a decision from a position of knowledge, knowing that you did your due diligence, just like you do on all your other investments. And if this video made you think differently about what's happening with your retirement income, and if you've got a countdown running, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go here and I want you to check out my next video where I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can learn the high income skills to create reliable legacy wealth with the digital education program without having to deal with all the drama of another rental property. So once again, I'm Harry. Go check out my next video and I'll see you there.